Hi everyone, this is Ryan from Affinity Motions Property TV, and in this new video series, we'll be speaking to real estate agents and other service providers on topics that home buyers and sellers will be interested in. First up, we have Mr. Tan Wee Kwang from Absolute Inspection. Hi Wee Kwang.
Good morning, Ryan.
Thank you for joining us today.
Hi everyone.
So you've been doing home inspection for a couple of years. How many homes have you inspected?
We have been in operations for I think more than 4 years, and we have done about roughly 15,000 home inspections to date, ranging from 2-room flats to good class bungalows, etc. In the context of new properties like new BTO flats, new ECs or new condo units, they come with a 12 months defects liability period. If the owner finds any problem in the house, they can report it and the main contractor will repair it for them for free. The first definition is that defects refers to poor workmanship. For instance, a poor installation, functionality issues such as windows cannot lock, door cannot lock, or it could be maybe just simple painting works that went wrong. The second types of defects usually refers to inconsistency between what the developer commit to the buyer in the sales and purchase agreement and what they actually provide to you on site. For instance, in the bathroom, the developer may have said that they are going to give you a water closet, a paper holder, a vanity cabinet, maybe a towel hook. Then you go into the actual bathroom itself and you realize that the paper holder or the towel hook is missing. That itself can also be a defect.
Homeowners, you have to know your rights when you take over a new house. Why don't we take a look at the house and maybe you can show us what you do actually?
Sure. Let's go.
So we're now in our unit now, and Mr. Wee Kwang is showing us his tools of the trade. Wow, Wee Kwang, that's a lot of equipment you have there. What are these used for?
These are some of the basic tools that we use for house inspection. First, we have the tri-square, the tile tester, and the spirit level. These three are the standard tools used by BCA compass assessors when they go about scoring new projects for workmanship quality. Then besides that, we also use socket testers to check live earth neutral wiring. We have adapters to check the 15M and 20M power points, telescopic mirror to check high areas, digital depth gauge to check tile unevenness, your smaller spirit level to check things for slants and misalignment. We have a network cable tester to check data points, telephone points, etc. We use the 3M painter's tape and the 3M post-it tape. We need to tape the defects so that it is easy for the contractor to find the exact locations to do the rectification works.
So there's actually a lot of things to check when you're in a house. But what are the common issues that owners face when they take over a new house?
Come, let me show you.
Sure. So what are we looking at now?
Okay, let me show you some of the more common problems with new projects. One of it is actually floor unevenness. So as you can see, right, floor tiles are manually laid by tilers. So when they lay the tile, sometimes there may be a bit of what we call leakages or unevenness. BCA Compass quality standard is that the floor unevenness should not deviate by more than 3 mm over 1.2 meter.
Wow, that's a very precise measurement.
Yes, that's why we use a depth gauge that looks like this to check the height of the gap. We place the spirit level, which is a 1.2 meter long spirit level, on the floor. We find the biggest gap along the spirit level, and then we insert the depth gauge in. This particular stretch is showing about 1.2 mm deviation. So this is within tolerance. We are able to accept that.
So Wee Kwang, what are the other common concerns that homeowners have when they employ you?
Okay, for homeowners, right, one of the most common concerns that they always have is how to check for tile hollowness, especially because in recent years or even recent months, there have been a spate of tiles popping in HDB flats especially.
Oh yeah, there are a lot on the news.
Yes. So everyone is very concerned about that. They feel that tile popping can pose an injury concern. So that is why we are very particular about checking for tile hollowness. Let me show you how to do it.
Sure.
So we use this tapping rod, or what we call the tile tester, to check for tile hollowness. When you swipe across the floor tiles or you tap the floor tiles, if there is tile hollowness below, the void between the tile and the script will produce an echo, and that is your hollow sound. So we check. There you see?
Oh, that sounds different.
This is a very different sound from here already. This tile, right, if you see the top part is starting to develop cracks already. So these are some of the telltale signs about how tiles may start to pop subsequently.
Other than floor tiles, right, I think another concern that a lot of homeowners have is that they have all the carpentry in the houses. Is there anything that you can check when you take over a house on carpentry works?
Sure, there is. And in fact, there are many checks with regards to carpentry works because there are many parts and components in the cabinets, the wardrobes, etc. One of the most common defects that we always find in new carpentry works would be misalignment. For instance, like if you look at this cabinet door, it is actually out of alignment. This part is higher than this door, this part is higher than this door, and it is actually not flush. This door is actually protruding out a bit. So the way to deal with this kind of misalignment, if it is a mild form of misalignment, the hinges, for instance, can be adjusted, and that is how they resolve the misalignment and unevenness of door panels on site.
So Wee Guang, you actually showed us how we can check for some of the defects in the tiles and carpentry. How do the homeowners, home buyers, they actually go to the developer or the contractor to ask them to rectify all these problems that you find for them?
Okay, so first you have to mark out all these defects with stickers so that it is easy for the contractor to locate and do the rectification subsequently. Normally, for new projects, the developer will have their own approved format for recording the defects. It can be a hard copy form, it can be an online application, or it could be their own CQMS system. So what you do is that you go and document all these defects, submit to the developer. Usually after that, the developer's defects team will ask for a joint inspection to go through the defects with you because they want to understand what are the things that you need them to do for you. There are instances where the main contractor may say that they may not be able to rectify some of the defects that you have reported. And the usual reasons would be like, for instance, these are not genuine defects. They are within tolerances by VCA, or maybe it could be just a natural inherent characteristics of maybe floor materials. First, ask yourself, are the defects reported by you genuine? If the defects reported by you are genuine, and the contractor is showing resistance to rectify all these defects, then what is their constraint? Maybe it could be a case where they don't have the manpower on site. Maybe it could be a case where they have run out of materials, especially for natural materials for flooring like marble and granite. Maybe they don't have matching tiles or this. Understand the constraints and then make a better and informed decision whether, for instance, to pursue with the rectification or not. And in the extreme situation where, for instance, the contractor is just trying to be nasty, so he doesn't want to do anything for you because he don't want to increase his workload. So what do you do? If the defects reported by you are genuine, right, you pursue. Normally, during the joint inspection, the contractor will come. Sometimes the resident technical officer will come as well, and the developer rep as well. So there are 3 parties, 4 parties there. You can appeal to the other parties in the joint inspection as well. I mean, you can pursue it with them. Chances are normally, if it's a genuine defect, the developer will agree with you. They will get the contractor to do it. And if all else fails, what do? You pursue by email, by writing, or in another situation, you could always engage people like us. Because, for instance, at Absolute Inspection, we are a certified defects company. We are professionals. Most of the main contractors in the market, they know about us. So if we go down and we ascertain it to be a genuine defect, there is a very slim chance that they will not want to do it. And if so they decided they still don't want to do it, we will be able to issue you a report, a third-party report to say that this is a defect for legal purposes or for whatever purposes. But usually this doesn't happen. So the main contractors in Singapore, by and large, are still reasonable people.
But sounds like quite a lot of work if your home does have defects.
Let me share with you how you can better protect your own interest in this. Homeowners are able to pick out, say, cosmetic damages like your stains, dents, cracks, chips, and maybe tonality differences in flooring and wall tiling. But the concern is, what about those latent defects? Half a year down the road, my floor threads start to be choked because there were previous concrete stuck inside the U-thread.
Debris all inside the piping.
Or what if 9 months down the road, you start to experience water seepage from the external facade into your master bedroom wall. And these kind of things, right, it is always better to approach professionals to do the checks for you. You can engage them up front, or like most owners do, they wait until they see something amiss inside their house. Then they take photos, they send to us. Then we look at the photos, we may go down to site to assess the situation better. Then we will advise them what to do from there.
Earlier you mentioned about DLP, right? So is it within that 1 year time frame? If you find anything amiss, they can actually engage someone who is more professional, more qualified to do the inspection to highlight these issues to the developer?
This one, yes and no. Let me just touch a bit on the differences. During the defects liability period, most owners are under the impression, for instance, that they can continue to report anything and everything that they find in their house. Before you start renovation works in your house, there are no external workers working inside the house. So any damage that you find in the house has to be attributed to the developer and their main contractor and subcontractors. And you report defects, say 1 month later, 3 months later, or even 9 months later, they will still entertain everything wholesale. Let's assume you have started renovation. After finishing renovation, you find a long scratch on the main door. Then this becomes very tricky if you report it. The developers will come together with the contractor and they will say that this scratch could have been caused by your own workers or even by your movers when they were moving things. So then it becomes a 50-50 case as to whether they want to entertain the rectification or not. Sometimes they may, sometimes they may not.
What you're saying is that it's absolutely crucial that once they take over the keys, they go inside the house, they get the groundwork or the latent checks done properly before engaging any other parties to come in.
Then as for those defects which are latent in nature, if they don't surface immediately, no choice. But once they start to have telltale signs, right, quickly report and take action. Say, for instance, structural cracks on a beam or a column. Yes, it couldn't have been caused by you unless they have strong evidence to show that your renovation plan has disturbed the structural member of the house. This kind of defects, they will still entertain even after you moved in.
So home buyers, now you know what you should look out for when you take over a new property. We'd like to thank Mr. Wee Kwang of Absolute Inspection, who has spent his precious time sharing with us all these interesting nuggets of information with us today. Thank you, Wee Kwang.
Thank you, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Our pleasure too. Thank you.